I started February with 565 TBR books. Did that number go down? Welcome back to Reading Sprints and Chai Sips. I am your girl, Sasha Bonet. February was a time. I didn't post many videos in February because of going out of state. I took a trip out of state for school, my last residency. Coming back from school in that trip, I got sick and was sick for about a whole entire week. Then I had to do training for my practicum and get ready for school. Then it was school, and now I am actually in the field getting hours for my degree, my master's degree in mental health clinical counseling. So I am swamped. This is a new area of life for me, and just give me grace. Okay, just give me a little bit of grace when it comes to this posting thing. But I think I might have a handle on it for March, so we'll see, because I started videos that I never got to finish, but that did not stop me from reading. I always am reading, always have a book. That's how I regulate myself, right? I pick up a book, I sit down, and I start to read. I get swept up in another world, in another story, and it works out for me that way. But just like last month in January, I am going to tackle this February wrap up by my reading goals, because that is the point of all of this. At the end of the year, I like to go through my reading goals and see if I accomplish what I set out to accomplish. So let's do that by tackling these reading goals. So overall, I want to read 100 of my own physical TBR books. And in the month of February, 23 of my own physical TBR books came off of my shelves. I'm happy about that. That means that approximately 49 TBR books have come off of my physical TBR so far, and the goal is 100. So we only have 51 more books to take off of these shelves. However, throughout the year, obviously, I will be reading off of my shelves, but this year it is a priority because I do buy a lot of books. Reading books and buying books are two separate things, so I want to prioritize reading the books from my shelves because I'm still going to buy them. So every month I want to go to the library at least one time, and that would mean at least 12 times every year I will be going to the library. In the month of February, I did not get to go to the library, and it's not my fault. I can 100% say that's not on me. My local library shut down for the month of February and automatically renewed my books until March. So when we get to the portion where we're talking about the library books, I have books from the library that I got in January. I was supposed to take them back in February. However, again, they don't have to be back until March. So there's that. My reading goal that I set on Goodreads is 100. I want to read 100 books. I'm not striving for anything more than that. I think I'll obviously be able to meet more than that, but 100 is what the goal is. So if I decide school is too much, or I don't have time to read, I won't feel like I failed my reading goal, because 100 is an attainable number for me. So far, I've read 54. So it's only February and I've read 54 books. I think I'm good to reach that 100. Now, my goal when it comes to series is to read 12 series that I've already started in previous years. So 2025 and prior. And in the month of February, I only finished one, which brings my total to 4 altogether. So I still have 8 series to finish. And trust me, I have 8 series and more on these shelves that I've started in previous years that I have not finished. So I'm happy about that I'm moving on, even though I only got to 1 so far in February. So in 2026, I also wanted to read 6 new to me Black authors, and I've already accomplished that in January. From here on out, every time that I'm going to mention in a wrap up a new to me Black author, I'll just say this is a new to me Black author so that you know, but I've already accomplished that goal in January. Also, special edition books, because I had Fairy Lou, I had Illumicrate, and I had Baddie's book boxes, and those were all special edition book boxes. I no longer have any of those, but I still have those books. So my goal this year is to read 6 of them. And this month I got 3 off my shelves for a total of 4. So all I need is 2 more to read and I would have accomplished that goal. I also made a goal this year to read outside of the house more, because I am more of a homebody and an introvert, and my health is doing a lot of things that I'm trying to get a handle of. But I have been reading outside of the house more. In February, I read on my front porch a lot, which I don't normally do. So I've been doing that. When I go to work, I'm reading in the break room, and people are asking me, hey, what you're reading? I went to Goodwill and I read in a cafe. I'm reading outside of the house more and I'm enjoying it. So I can't wait to continue throughout the year. Another goal of mine to eliminate how many books that I am getting. I still have 2 book box subscriptions, and that is Book of the Month and Audiobook. I enjoy those 2 book boxes more than any of the other ones that I had. That's why I kept them. But my goal is from each book box, I can only get 2 books a month that I'm going to pay for, because these are book boxes that I pay for myself. I do not get these books for free. But I'll show you what those books are. And from Artwork, I think I only got 1. And I'll show you what that book is as well. Now, I explained to you all that I have downloaded on my Kindle so many Kindle books that I now quote unquote own, right? Those are books that you get from Kindle events, Stuff Your Kindle, Black Stuff Your Kindle events, Romance Stuff Your Kindle events, Romantasy Stuff Your Kindle events. I have so many of them and you own them. That means you don't have to return them to Kindle Unlimited when you're finished. But I have so many and I don't read them. I don't know why. It's a rush to get them, but then I kind of like totally forget that they're there. So this year, I made it a goal to read 10 of the KU books that I own. This month, I read 2 of those. I'll tell you what they are. And that means we're now at a total of 6 Stuff Your Kindle books, or 6 Kindle books that I own that I've read. I only need to do 4 more, and I can't wait because it's dwindling down. That's my goal, is to read these books, but also to get rid of any of these books that are on my Kindle that I'm not going to read or I don't enjoy, or find new ones that I can recommend to you all. And my final goal is to DNF that book, and I don't shy away from a DNF. There are a couple in this video. And don't forget, if there's a DNF that I told you is a DNF in this video, or a book that I'm unhauling, just go on over to my Pango bookstore. And if there's a book that you're interested in, it will be there. Unless it's already found a home somewhere else, which 1 or 2 of these books have found a home already. So they won't be on Pango, but all the rest will. So let's get into what I actually read in February. So we're going to start with library books, and the one library book from January that I still had to read was Alice Feeney's Good Bad Girl. I gave this book 2 stars. This is rated as one of the lowest rated books that I've read this month. 2 others are also with this one at 2 stars. But this book was ridiculous. There was so much going on here, and I did not gel with this book. And it's crazy that I did not, because there is so many of this woman's books. I'm saying so many. I think it's 2. Rock, Paper, Scissors, which I enjoyed, and Daisy Darker, which I enjoyed. This, I Know Who You Are, and what is that other one that just recently came out? I can't remember it, but the one where he was on the island. No, these three books I have not enjoyed, and it's getting to a point where should I stop? I think that I should, but I still have one book by this author that I got from, I want to say book of the month. Hopefully it's good, because if that one turns out not to be good, Alice Feeney may have to take a back seat for me. But in Good Bad Girl, we come across an amalgamous story. So you have a baby that has been kidnapped from a woman who you assume is the mother at a grocery store overseas somewhere. This woman, she tells the cops, hey, this baby that I had is missing. And they're looking at her like, hey, you sure you didn't do something to this baby? Come to find out, no, she didn't. The baby has been kidnapped. We find out who has kidnapped this baby. Some woman. We don't know why. But the woman who had the baby when the baby is missing was the grandmother of the child. It wasn't the mother. The mother was at home suffering from postpartum depression. And that baby who has gone missing, that was kidnapped, grows up to run away from home. And all of these women are connected and they don't know it. This book was just utterly bad. I did not enjoy it. It only got 2 stars because there was something in here that I was just like, oh, didn't see that coming. But other than that, this book was just trash. It was bad. I did not like it. Next, we're going to get into the special editions. First up, you have Andrea Stewart's The Gods Below. I DNF'd this book. I gave it a good, I want to say 20%. I don't remember. But this book was confusing. You don't know what you're reading. And for some people, that may be the fun of it. I need to know at least what's going on. And the only thing I could glean from this book is that you have 2 sisters in this world where gods are no longer really with us. And gems are a thing. And I don't know if they're swallowing gems. I don't know if it's underwater. I don't know if it's in like a smog that comes around, but her sister turns into a monster. It's a whole thing. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you. This was confusing, so I DNF'd it. Next is Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. I enjoyed this book enough. I think I gave it a 3.54 star. It was enjoyable, but more. It needed more. It is sapphic. It is about this young lady in Regency kind of times who cannot seem to find her place in society. She thought she had found the love of her life, only for him to want to marry someone else. So she feels like she doesn't belong. She also feels like she might have a little bit of magic going on, and she doesn't know how that is, until she realizes her mother and father have been lying to her this entire time. She is a witch. She is a witch of a long line of witches, but they do have a curse on them. They are destined never to fall in love. So her mother did not want that destiny for her, so she hid it from her until her grandmother comes and says, hey, you get to choose what your life is. Do you want to come with me and be a witch? There is a curse. Or you can stay here in society where you feel like you don't belong anyway. And you can just imagine what she chooses. It was enjoyable enough. I just needed more. I wanted more. Last but not least is Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. And this is a Snow White retelling, but the main characters are Black. And I enjoyed it. I will say that first, this is YA. This is not adult. And it's cute. I love the elements that it took from the story. The apple, the haggard old lady witch person, the person in the mirror that speaks, to them, and who the big bad is. I enjoyed this take on the story, but this is another one where I was like, it needed more in the bones of it. In the thick of this book, it just needed to be fluffed out a little bit more, but I enjoyed it. I think I gave it like a 3.5. Next, let's get into some book box books, like book of the month and aardvark. And first is Cross My Heart. Let's just talk about them together. This is Count My Lies that I got from Book of the Month, and this is Cross My Heart that I got from aardvark. These two books are one and the same. They just tell a different story. These two books have unhinged FMCs who lie for the sake of lying. Both of them do. And it was a wild ride. They just aren't my type of thrillers, but I enjoyed reading them. I enjoyed them for what they were. Count My Lies, literally, she counts her lies in the story. And she also is able to justify that wasn't really a lie. And you find out how unhinged this woman is. She's just a woman who has never felt like she belonged. So she made up who she was as she grew into an adult. She started lying when she was a child, and it turned into something bad once before, and her mother knows about it, and she lives at home with her mom. She works at like a manicurist store or something like that, like the nail place. And she's just, you would have to read it to understand. She's a liar who doesn't believe that people can lie to her. That was the biggest unhinged part of this book, is that just because you think you're the only person in the world that lies, everybody seems to lie around her too, and she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. This book ended crazily too. What the hell was that? Cross My Heart is about a woman who gets a heart transplant, and there is a donor registry, kind of like social media kind of thing, but it's not social media. It's like a back and forth that you can have with your donor person, whoever was able to donate the body part that you needed. You can, write to them, email them, and say, hey, thank you. You can start conversations. She starts a conversation with the husband of the wife that died, whose heart she got. And it just all goes awry from there. She becomes unhinged and starts falling in love with that man. It's a whole thing. And then she gets blamed for his murder. You need to read this just to see how unhinged it is and how she got herself into this predicament. Again, these two books were fun to read, but they are not really my type of thriller. It just doesn't make sense how you get yourself in these predicaments, just to me. That's just me. Next was Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkinson. I got this one from Book of the Month. I DNF'd this book. I have never in all my life read a book that said African American or Black people in exactly those words so much in so little pages. That gives me the ick. It gives me the whole entire ick. I think you have to trust your audience to know who and what you're talking about. It was weird. I DNF'd. One of my favorite horror house books that I've read this year, probably ever, when it comes to a haunted house, Rachel Harrison's Play Nice. Oh my goodness, this gave me goosebumps reading this. It was funny. It had its moments of, girl, what the fuck are you doing? Run. It had its moments of that's creepy as shit. And like I said before, I am noticing a trend of authors that seem to write about women's plights and men not believing women, and women going through all of these different emotions and trials and tribulations when it comes to marriage, motherhood, divorce, and everything like that. And this is a haunted house story. This is definitely a haunted house story. And I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed the family dynamics, because wherever there's a haunted house, there is a fucked up family. I enjoyed this book so much. I think I gave it 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite a 5-star for me, but I gave it 4.5. I enjoyed this book so damn much, but I know that Rachel Harrison has written other things, but I'm not sure about those books, but I am sure about this one. I enjoyed it. This one is basically about a house that is in a family, and no one lives there anymore. right? The family who lives there has been torn apart. The mother is now with another man, and her kids and her ex-husband are elsewhere. They're all grown now, and her ex-husband has remarried, but the house is still owned by her. She passes away in said house, and the family is notified, like, hey, your mother, ex-wife, has passed in said house, and she leaves the house to her children. Now it's up to them to get the house ready to sell, but her youngest says, hey, I don't want to sell the house. I want to fix, or we can sell the house, but I want to fix it. I want to sell it, and I can do it, right? And all hell breaks out from there because she starts to stay in said house after believing that her mother was an insane person, not a good mother, and all of these things. And her father is the one who told her these things. Read this book. Last but not least is Julie Clark's The Ghostwriter. This is about a woman who is a ghostwriter, and her father is a famous author. And he gets this sickness that I cannot remember what it is, but his memories are going, and it's not dementia, and it's not Alzheimer's. Is something else. It's akin to dementia, but it's something else. And he knows that his daughter is a ghostwriter. They're not close. And he says to his publisher, I know who I want for this story. It's her. She has been kind of like ousted in the writing community for her views on a particular author, male author, who is just like trash. So she's battling with her career right now. So she takes the job to do the ghostwriting in this story. Now, the reason why her and her father are not close is because he wasn't a good father to her. The rumors in their hometown is that he killed his sister and his brother. And she goes down the rabbit hole of like investigative journalism and tries to crack what actually happened in her family. It has a full circle moment in the last chapter that I was like, oh, you did your thing with this one. You did it. Okay. I like that. This was a thriller that I could get behind. It's a thriller. This is a thriller that I could get behind. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it like a 4.5 as well. Next, we're going to tackle the indie books that I read. First is Along for the Ride by Mimi Grace. I've read three other books, I believe. 3 other books by Mimi Grace, so will be the 4th one. I am actually going to unhaul this one, and it's because I finished the whole book. I'm going to give it a 3. I dislike the main character so much, and it's like, where is the attraction between these two? But this is the first book that I read that had, I want to say the first, I believe, that I've read with a Polynesian MMC, and I enjoyed that aspect. But other than that, I did not enjoy this as much as I thought I would. I don't mind. I know a lot of people do not like road trips. I don't mind them as long as you give me the shenanigans. And this had the shenanigans, but it also did not have a good FMC. I don't know. That usually pisses me off, so it's a no for me. This, for me, does not have rereadability because I wouldn't reread something that pissed me off this bad. Next is Heated by Aisha Breed. This is the second book in a series that I can't remember the name of, but this is a second chance romance, and I despise second chance romances. In this one, I could get on board with the second chance. Again, in this one, it was the FMC that pissed me off. In this book, you meet characters, you go deeper into characters that you meet in the first book. So our FMC is the sister of the MMC in the first book, right? And you learn that she had a baby when she was about, I want to say 16, 17, by the MMC's friend from the first book, who is her brother, right? So she had sex with his friend. They thought they were in love with each other, and she got pregnant. She had a baby. He wasn't really ready to settle down in a relationship. He was ready to be a father, but he wasn't ready to settle down at that time. So they never really went any further than what they were doing. Fast forward, he's a great dad. They co-parent very well. She's in a relationship. He's in a relationship. Like I said, they have a son. They co-parent really well. She comes home one day early from work, catches her man cheating on her. Our MMC in this book, his girlfriend is she's very insecure about his co-parenting relationship with his son's mother, so she's always giving him shit, coming at him in any kind of way, and neither the FMC or the MMC are doing anything wrong. He eventually breaks up with her because he's like, I just can't do this shit anymore, and he has to go and stay with, he doesn't have to, but he chooses to stay with his son's mother because she's going through some stuff, because after she found her man cheating on her, right, he also starts to threaten her, and she doesn't want to tell her brother, who literally will take care of the situation. And then this is where I feel like some characters are just not too believable for me, because if I had a brother who loved me that much, who would handle the situations that need handling, meaning like handle a man, right? I'm not going to handle a man. You handle the man. Great. Go handle said man. She doesn't want to tell him. She doesn't want him to step in. So her son's father steps in and does that, helps her out in that way. They start to get things back together, but she does something that's really fucked up. And even though her ex goes along with it, her son's father goes along with it to make her ex-boyfriend angry, when it's all said and done, he's very angry, as he should be. And she's like, oh my God, I think I fucked up. You think? She pissed me off so fucking much. This is why I don't like second chance romances. And she was too immature. Immaturity, we all have our immature moments, but she was way too fucking immature for that. And because she was that immature, it caused something else to happen later, and it pissed me off even more. I didn't want them two together. I also read King's Catch by Aisha Bree. This is the third book in the King's Dynasty series. I should have read the second book. I did not. I'm going to read it, but I don't think you need to read them in order to move through the series. I read the first one. I read this third one. I will read the second one next, but this one was calling my name. And this is the youngest king child. And this is a friends to lovers romance. And I found this to be really cute. It also has an accidental baby, not pregnancy, baby that pops up in this story that I actually like as well. I don't like accidental pregnancies, but a oops baby that comes out of nowhere when you already living your life, drama, give it to me. I'll eat it up. I enjoyed this book. Last but not least is Rhythms Blues by Kimberly Brown. This was my reread for the month of February, and the first reread I have of the year so far. And I did not change my rating. My initial rating when I first read this book was a 5-star, and it held up. It's a 5-star for me still. And I enjoyed this book so much. This book basically tackles what happens when, fame gets to someone's head, because her and her crush from high school get together, and he already wanted to be a rapper or rapper when she met him, and he convinced her to move out west with him. They get together. They're now boyfriend and girlfriend. She does not want to be in front of the camera. She wants to be able to support him from behind the camera, not to be kept a secret. You have a girlfriend, but I don't want to be in front of the camera, kind of thing. And he does not care. He's like, well, if you won't do it, I'll find someone who does. And he starts treating her like absolute shit. They break up. She meets someone new, and the someone new is close to him, unbeknownst to her, because she's not in his world. It's a whole lot of mess, but I enjoyed it, and I'm happy with the way things turned out. So the middle grade book that I read in February is Map Maker by Lisa Moore Ramey. And I enjoyed the book without the parents. Writing choices that authors tend to make, and they all stem around horrible parents. Why is that? Are we projecting our own feelings about parents into books? There are so many things that we can do, so many other choices that could be made. This was not fun for me with the parents in it. You take the parents out, absolutely fun. It's about a boy who likes to draw maps. He is a map maker in every sense of the word. His family picks up and moves to a different town because his father gets a different job, and he doesn't like it. He misses his hometown. And his father is trying to force him to be bigger, better, more athletic, and all these things, and he just does not want to. And his mother goes along with it. She doesn't help. She doesn't say no. He doesn't want to. She just says, well, your father is your father. Do what he says. He also has a twin sister who they were really close until his sister had a growth spurt and he didn't. So now, and his sister plays sports and she has friends and all of these things, and he does not. And his sister, even though we don't get her POV in this, we're only following his POV, also gets treated like a second fiddle because she wants to try out for the football team and her father's like, go sit down somewhere. She wants to eat more the same way her father tells her brother to eat more so you could get bigger. She wants to eat more. He's like, you're good. You're good. You're a girl. You're good. But anyway, he's a map maker. He finds out that he can destroy cities. He can destroy towns and maps, and he can also make different worlds. And it is very adventurous. It's very fun. I don't recommend it though, because what kid wants to read a book about bad parenting that makes you want to draw a world that you can disappear into? Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet by Laken Zia Kemp. This is YA. I read this. I'm going to give it 3 stars. It is about because we have 2 POVs in here, her POV and his POV. They do fall in love. I don't think that's the moral of this story. She wants to do more than go to school and be a nurse, which her parents want her to do. And he wants to feel like he belongs. He is undocumented, and it's to no fault of his own, but his father has disappeared and he lives with his abuelo, his grandfather, and his grandfather loves him. He cannot accept his grandfather's love because he wants his father's. And for some reason, that love for his father, that love from his father that he wants so badly, stops him from getting the love from his grandfather. For her, her family wants her to go to school. She starts lying about it, that she's going to school. She's not, because she wants to be a baker. She likes to bake. She likes sweets. She likes to do all of those things. And her father keeps overlooking her for her brother. I did not enjoy this book either. There's so many parts of this book that by the end of it are so unresolved. And sometimes you just have to say parents are not making great choices, which leaves children unfulfilled and also making bad choices. The other YA book that I just finished yesterday is Crank by Ellen Hopkins. This was a book that was recommended to me, and I'm glad it was. It's written in verse. It's like 530 something pages. It's written in verse, and it is about a teen girl who plummets into the world of meth and boys, and a lot happens, right? It is a very fast-paced story. People, kids meeting each other and saying I love you on day 2. Kids wanting to rebel because no one loves me anyway kind of feeling. Getting yourself into a lot of different and precarious situations and not knowing how to get out of them, but following the monster. If you've read this, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm thinking about continuing in the series. It's a trilogy. I'm thinking about continuing in the series, so let me know. The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. It is a very short read. It is a thriller, and I hated it. It is about 2 girls who are supposedly friends, because once you start reading this book, were they ever friends? I would never go into the woods with a person that I think is finicky, especially if neither one of us know how to survive in the woods. They go out into these woods. Now, mind you, also, before they go into these woods, their parents are kind of iffy on them going out into these woods alone with no one else besides them too. But they come to the conclusion, now mind you, they're not sisters, they're just friends. Their parents collectively come to the decision they are about to go off to college anyway. They're grown, or they're about to be grown enough to make decisions. You can do it. I hope you pack well, do all the things. Hopefully, everything works out. But there's several things wrong with this situation from the very beginning, because we know that there may be bears in the woods, right? That's what they're saying in their world. There may be bears in the woods, even though it hasn't been one to their knowledge in a somewhat of a long time, like a year. There are bears in the woods. Two, people have gone missing in this area. Why are we going into the woods? Only for them to go into the woods. One, there are bears, and two, there's also serial killers. I hated this book. Now, this is the series that I finished in February, and I'm very sad about it. The Blessing series, Calling All Blessings by Beverly Jenkins. This, I believe, is the final book. She didn't say it was the final book, but the way that it was basically written in its finality, right? Like it was written to be the end, I believe. And oh, that makes me so sad. And but it was a fun and spectacular ride. It was funny, it was fun, it was entertaining, it was loving, it was sad, it was moving, it was caring. I love this series and I own every book in it, and I'm going to continue to reread these books over time. Maybe she'll come out with more later on. Maybe she's just finished with this series altogether. I don't know. But I do recommend the Blessing series to anyone who likes a story that moves over time. If you've ever read Beverly Jenkins, this story is based in a town that is mentioned in her historical romances. And now the town is in our modern day world. A historically black town. It doesn't just have black people in it. It is a great, great addition to her historical romances. And that's how I found Beverly Jenkins, through her historical romances. And now I'm here. And I can't wait for any more books that this woman puts out. She is a great narrator of facts and fiction melded together. I'm sad to have finished this, but I'm glad that I got to be on the ride. Okay, let's go into these. So Dark Souls is something I picked up this month at the comic book store, and I enjoy this. It's very short, however, and I do know that I'm kind of regretting buying the single issue just because I know that they have the whole thing in a book format. I think I'm going to get that. I'll possibly be selling this one so I can get all of the issues in one like volume. I heard this is a game. Never played the game, never heard of the game. But with this singular issue, I enjoyed it. Nothing much happened in this singular issue though. Just know that. Then you have Prince of Cats by Ron Wimberly. I DNF'd this. I had to. It's such a beautiful book and with the colors and everything. However, Shakespearean language in the 70s, 80s is not what I call enjoyable for me, my brain, and my tongue. No, thank you. But that's what this is. It reminded me of the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet, which also hurt my brain to watch and listen to. That's what this reminded me of. I couldn't do it. Next, we have Disappearing Acts by Terry McMillan. I completed this book, but this was struggle love on a struggle bus on its way to the deepest depths of hell. Why is this enjoyable to anyone? This is a book that took me by surprise. So it's Blood and Breath by Cont'd, and I've never heard of this book, never seen this book until I walked into Barnes & Noble. I saw the cover, and that is what sold me. This cover is gorgeous. And it's hard for me to explain, so I'm just going to read it to you on what it's about. So, born into the persecuted Magi class, Evan Wilde keeps her true identity under wraps. Her days are spent drawing up simple contracts, a task Magi are banned from performing, which calls devils from beyond the veil to carry out clients' requests in exchange for a bit of blood or breath. It's not until Evan lies dying in an alley, the victim of an illegal blood sacrifice, that she draws a contract for herself. A devil can take the last of her life if it grants her revenge. This has also some gay vibes in it. I didn't say sapphic, I said gay. Okay? Some devils may be gay in here. gay as hell, and I loved it. This book was so good. It was so different, and I enjoyed it. First of all, I love the mess between the devils who have wronged each other but are still in love with each other. What? Give me mess and a devil any day, and I'm ready to read it. This is book 1. I don't think book 2 has come out, but when it does, oh, I'm all over it. Finally, this was our February Chai and Chapters book club reading pick. Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. And this is when she was still indie. It was blah. I gave it 3 stars. It is absolutely fine. And I think no one talks about this one as much as they talk about everything else, like Caleb doing Woods and Credence, because she had every right to date that boy's father. 1, him and the father weren't close. 2, you cheating on me. So yes, I'm gonna date your daddy. I'm gonna call you my son. Why do I think that's funny? That's the best get back I think anyone can do. That's the best get back ever. Nothing crazy happens in this book. Nothing off the wall happens in this book. And mind you, had I not been thinking that was what was going to happen, I wouldn't have been so disappointed reading this book. But I gave this book 3 stars. It was normal blah book. It wasn't bad at all. So I also listened to The Black Gods Drum by P. Jelly Clark, and this was so fast. It was a quick kind of sci-fi, pirate, steampunk. That's what I'm looking for. The word is steampunk. It's very that, but it was so quick. I think I listened to this in an hour. It was so fast. And I wish it would have been longer. I gave this 4 stars. I wish this would have been a longer book, but I enjoyed this one so much. It also has gods in it. It's very good. My other 5-star for the month of February is Beneath His Stetson by C.M. Campbell. This book caught me by surprise. It is a Kindle book. It's one of those books that I owned on my Kindle that I read, and I enjoyed it so much. It's very short. It's very novelette length. It's not long at all. It's about a woman who goes to a southern bar and she meets a man. And that's all I'm going to say because everything else would be a spoiler. It's a novelette. And it's a quick, spicy read. And the twist, which I didn't see coming, was very fun and cute. I enjoyed it so much. And last but not least is Way Too Far or Way Too Deep by Asar. And I don't know what the hell this is, but all I saw in it was the eligibility clan, LGBTQIA+, fucking everybody else, LGBTQIA+. I don't know what this was. I read it and I gave it 2 stars. So that is everything that I read in the month of February. If you made it this far into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would like to grow, and I know you would like me to grow as well. And thank you to all of my 100 plus subscribers. I didn't think I'd make it this far this year. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And stay tuned because so much more is coming, especially in the month of March. Hopefully I can get on board with the times and stuff like that, so that we can have some good content this month. I would enjoy putting all of my thoughts into videos this month. Please let me know which one of the books that I read in this video is on your TBR, or which ones you're looking forward to reading, or that I gave you a heads up on that you didn't know existed, but now you do. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye.